And this is very, very tough for me. This is very, very tough for me. But I gotta take out Phil Jackson.
I don't know why. Did he bring him 3 or 2? How many he
He
bring him?
brought he brought five.
He
He
brought him
brought five.
5. How you taking him off? Phil Jackson was a winner in Chicago. He brought that winning spirit with the coaches to the Lakers, and they still continue to win. So I would have to say Phil
But
have to
how
stay
can
on.
you? How? This is what I'm saying to you. How can Phil Jackson come to the Los Angeles Lakers if not for Pat Riley setting that foundation? Jeanie Buss, the owner, CEO of the Lakers, she recently was on All the Smoke podcast. That's with Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson, former NBA players of the league, some decent role players, and some great guys, definitely great guys. Shout out to them on All the Smoke. But she was asked the question on who are her top 5 most important Los Angeles Lakers. This included coaches and players. So first, she gave a shout out, a big ups to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Also, she said Magic. We know Showtime, baby. Kobe, KB, man, RP, man, to the GOAT. Phil Jackson. And LeBron James.
Disagree.
So tell me, this includes coaches and players, because she said Phil Jackson, so that we get this correct. Who now, first off, tell me how many people would you replace on this list and who? How
Only
many?
one. Only
Okay.
one and add 2. Okay?
Only wait. Only 5. It's only 5 though. You said add 2. That means 6.
Still only one adding 2. I don't give a damn. Okay, this is my list. I don't give a damn about
Top
Jenny's
5 though, man.
This is my list right here
Okay,
because
go ahead.
she missed something here. Okay, 100% agree with Kareem, Magic, Kobe, Phil Jackson. Most definitely, you forgot Pat Riley and you forgot Shaq. There is no way in hot water hell LeBron's supposed to be on this list. I'm sorry. And I don't know if you agree with me or not, but I'm just
She's just giving respect to LeBron James.
What's respect? He gets no damn respect. You talking about great folk down here. Man. He ain't no great nothing for me. I'm just telling you me. God. There's no way Pat Riley should have been left off this list. That's one. And there's no way in the hell Shaq's supposed to have been left off this list. She done lost her damn mind. What is wrong with her? No way. Ain't no way LeBron James supposed to go ahead of Shaq. There's no way. I'm sorry. He should not be on this list. That's my opinion. My opinion right there. Mine would be 6 because I agree with her 100%. You know what I'm saying? Pat Riley, brung championships to you. Phil Jackson, brung championships to you. Kareem, Magic, Shaq, okay? Kobe, most definitely. Not LeBron. LeBron brung y'all 1 championship. Come on, man. The hell on. He shouldn't even be nowhere to be found in this list. I'm just sorry. I disagree. I don't know about what everybody else out there think, but this is big dog here, player. Disagree 100%. LeBron should not be included on this list.
Man, I'm gonna say this. I like Pat Riley. I'm replacing 2 people. I know that's kind of difficult to do, but I'm replacing. I'm sorry. I'm making it only 5. This is tough for me. I'm sorry. I gotta replace LeBron. I don't know what she was saying. Maybe she. I mean, let's just be honest though. The Lakers hadn't won in a while. LeBron brought back that hope. He tied the championships with 17 with Boston. So I can understand why she was doing that. And I mean, why not say LeBron? Because he is the best of this era. And you can't take that away from him. And she listed every great player of this era on here, of their eras on here, in their respective eras. But I have to take off LeBron James. I have to replace him with Pat Riley. And this is very, very tough for me. But I gotta take off Phil Jackson.
I don't know why. Did he bring them 3 or 2? How many he bring?
He brought 5.
He brought them 5. How you taking him off?
I'm sorry. I Phil Jackson is a phenomenal coach. Now, if we were talking about top 5 most important Bulls, he would definitely be there. But I'm sorry. I'm thinking about this, and this is what I mean by importance, right? When we think about what set the foundation, because that's what we go back to. I'm thinking about foundation wise. When we think about what actually set in stone the Lakers to being a powerhouse, and what exactly set in stone them coming to the forefront of this league, you got to think about what set the foundation for the Lakers, and it's set the foundation was Pat Riley,
Agree.
was Magic,
Agree.
was Kareem, and
Agree.
Kobe carried that on, right? And you think about what's carrying on that. Now I'm excluding now I understand what Phil Jackson did, but we gotta think about great players right now. Kobe is the great player that continued on that path. Phil Jackson could have been coaching for X amount of years on this Lakers team and never had that great player in the Lakers. You get what I'm saying?
Let me ask you a question. Could Kobe win a championship without Shaq?
He couldn't win it without Shaq. That's what I'm trying to say.
That's what I'm saying. How can we not add Shaq to that list? He's one of the greatest all-time Lakers that ever played the game. He's one of them. How are we not adding Shaq to the list?
Yeah, no. That's what I was saying. I was gonna add Shaq to this list.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I cut you off.
That's what I was saying.
My fault.
My bad. Fault. Yeah, I was saying I was gonna add Shaq to this list, and that's what I was saying. I gotta take Phil off because Phil could have been coaching Kobe for as long as, you know what I'm saying, as long as he wanted to. But Phil couldn't win this if he didn't have Shaq, right? Those first 3. That's what I'm thinking about. The first 3. Now, Kobe got to a certain extent where he was able to win these last 2 with help from Paul Gasol. But it took Paul Gasol to come in too so that Kobe could win that too. Let's not forget how great Paul Gasol was, Andrew Bynum, Derek Fisher. Let's not forget them. But I'm saying that Phil Jackson could have been coaching this Kobe team with that who did he have? Kwame Brown, yep. And all those guys. If you don't remember, Phil left for a second. I think he left in like 2006. And he came back. It was a time that Phil missed in that period. I'm gonna get that to you exactly.
Okay, but what you basically saying is this, then
it was just a time period where Phil didn't have the answers. When Phil didn't have the answers after Shaq left. That's why I'm replacing this with Shaq and showing his importance. That Kobe couldn't set a foundation of winning without Shaq. And Kobe eventually got that foundation. But to me, when I think of importance, I think of foundation. And when I think of foundation, I have to go to specific players. Because no matter how great of a coach you are, you need players. Let's look at how great Greg Popovich is. He needs players in San Antonio to help him build that. Now, with Pat Riley, they set that foundation. Don't get me wrong. They set that foundation. And I can go back to really saying, you know, how great, and I don't want to exclude how great that honorable mentions. I don't want to exclude how great that Wilt and Jerry West were. And let's not forget Elgin Baylor. Elgin Baylor, if we go back, was one of the best of his time. A lot of people, even though I wasn't around in that time, but a lot of people were saying that Elgin Baylor was, you know, the MJ of his era. He just couldn't win. So this is what I'm talking about. You know, I understand what coaches do. They set the foundation, but these players have to go out there and play. Now, I'll give it all to Pat Riley because he continued on that legacy of modern day Los Angeles Lakers as a coach. But it started with Kareem and Magic being the players. I just can't put Phil on there because it was a time period where Phil couldn't win, even when he had Kobe. And Kobe couldn't win without Shaq. That's why I had to
let me cut you off here. That's just almost like saying that Phil Jackson didn't help the Bulls win 6 championships. Doug Collins put that foundation down there, and Phil took it in and won from there. Okay, not only did he take it and win from there, he left the Bulls, went to the Lakers, and continue on win streak. So how can you not have Phil Jackson on this list? There's no way in the world Phil should not be on this list. That's why I went with 6 players. I did not go with 5 because I couldn't go with 5.
I know it's hard to go with 5.
I have to go with
saying.
6 because I agree with you 100%. Pat Riley put the foundation down. Phil took it over the top. That's just how I feel.
That's how I feel.
You know what I'm saying?
Too. But
that's
I'm
the reason why I had to go with 6.
Yeah, you went with 6, but I went for 5 because of this. I mean, I took on the challenge of going. Now, if we put him, if I did say 6, you damn right, I would put I would put Field up. But I'm saying this all to say the Lakers have so many great players and coaches. It's hard to select exactly one. So you know what I'm saying? It's hard to make a 5 because it's going to get controversy. As you see, I'm pretty sure I'll probably catch flack for this, but it's still going to get controversy either way you flip it because it's 5 important players. So I feel like that's why I selected Shaq over Phil, and I love Phil, but I had to select him over it.
I would have to go with my theory on that is we're talking about a man that Phil Jackson just came off of winning 6, and I'm not saying 6 in a row. I'm saying 3, took off 2, 1, 3 more. Okay, went to the Lakers and continued the trend. There's no way in the world you could take Phil Jackson off. I'm just sorry. I just can't. I don't see Phil Jackson coming off.
But listen, I want to give you the challenge of this. You said 6. Now give me 5. If you had to take one of those guys off, name me. Just take if you taking off Shaq. Now because I understand what you're saying.
I'm not taking Shaq off. Shaq got to be on that because if I take Shaq off, you got to listen. If you take Shaq off, you got to take Kobe off because Kobe is not winning without Shaq.
Yeah,
I'm just saying. That's just my opinion. Even though I know Kobe did win after Shaq left, but Shaq put that foundation down.
That's what I mean, that foundation.
He put that winning spirit in Kobe to continue on to win. If Shaq never did that, I don't believe Kobe would have ever won. That's my opinion for one. Yeah. If I had to take one player off, it would hurt me to my heart to take that player off. Wow. I guess I would have to say, I would have to take Pat Riley off.
You have to take Pat Riley off?
I would have to take Pat Riley off my list.
Hey, you know what?
I'm going.
If I had to go off your list.
Hold on. Listen to me carefully.
Go ahead.
Without Kobe, there is no Shaq. Without Kareem, there is no Magic. I cannot separate the two. You understand what I'm trying to say when it comes to the two players?
Yeah.
I cannot separate the two.
That's why this is so hard.
Right. It's so hard. That's the reason why I say I got to go with 6. I'm sorry, because I understand Pat Riley put the foundation down, but Phil took it over the top. You know what I'm saying? But if I had to choose, I would have to take Pat Riley off because Phil is bringing that foundation from when he won in Chicago to the Lakers. Look what happened. He brought that triangle over. He brought all those coaches with him, and it worked the exact same way it worked for the Bulls. It worked for the Lakers. So if I had to take a person off, it has to be Pat Riley.
Okay, if I had to take somebody off your list, being of what you said, and I'm listening to you, if I had to take somebody off because you did say 6, I would have to take Kareem off. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I like take Kareem. Without Kareem, it ain't no Magic. That's just me.
I know that, but I'm saying you gotta remember that Lakers team. Do you know who was on that team in the 80s? They had so many guys that I think that the Lakers probably could have won one without Kareem. That's just my honest opinion. And Kareem was in his elder years, if we think about it. Kareem was still getting older then because Kareem had been a star.
I agree with you 100%. But what I'm still saying is this: take away Kareem, we don't know how Magic would have came out. Yeah. We just don't know. You take away Shaq, we don't know if Kobe win one or not. We just don't know. I cannot separate the two players. But how can you
take these great coaches off?
Though? I can't say, because the only reason I said it is because of my theory. Phil Jackson was a winner in Chicago. He brought that winning spirit with the coaches to the Lakers, and they still continue to win. So I would have to say Phil has to stay on.
This is what I'm saying to you. How can Phil Jackson come to the Los Angeles Lakers if not for Pat Riley setting that foundation? If the Lakers were not good and a prestigious franchise as they were, how can Phil Jackson come to this team? Because we knew that Phil was trying to bring winning attitudes to it.
I just explained it to you. If he won 6 championships with the Bulls,
But you got to think about
who wouldn't take Phil Jackson in their coaching staff?
But I'm saying this to say you go to
Let
teams.
me ask the question.
Wait. Can I get
I'm
this
gonna
out
ask
first?
this one question.
Let me get this out first though, and then I'll let you ask the question.
Okay.
The Lakers had not. If the Lakers were not a prestigious team at the time, we know that Phil had just came off winning 6. But a great coach like Phil would not go to a team that's not built on winning. That's just like saying if Phil comes to the Charlotte Hornets, will he have gone there? No.
If I got Kobe and Shaq, I'm coming. You got Kobe and Shaq, I'm coming. Okay. Pat Riley had Kobe and Shaq, didn't win. See what I'm saying? That makes the difference right there for me. So that I can eliminate Pat Riley because I know exactly who Phil Jackson is. I know what he demands, and I know he's a winner. I'm not saying Pat Riley is not a winner because he is a winner. That's what I'm saying right there. You have to go with Phil Jackson. I'm sorry. If I had to eliminate and go to 5, then I got to take Pat Riley off that list. That's my theory right there. So I don't know.
Let's get you in here, Rizzo. Let's tap you in right fast, Rizzo, man. So we're covering Jeanie Buss. She came on the All the Smoke podcast with Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson, former NBA players, and she was asked who was her top 5 most important Lakers, and the names that she said were Kareem, Magic, Kobe, Phil Jackson, and LeBron James. Who you got?
Well, definitely who's topping my list would definitely be Kobe Bryant. I would definitely have to say Magic, Kareem. I gotta throw in Shaq.
Thank you.
Definitely have to throw in Shaquille O'Neal because he had a great contribution to the Lakers. I mean, 3 back-to-back championships. That's not easy to do. And definitely, I would have to say LeBron. We have to say LeBron.
LeBron.
You gotta say LeBron.
Okay, explain.
Okay. Now let me give you the scenario. Hold on.
Okay,
hold
on.
Let me give you the scenario. You got 5 people to pick, right? One of them got to be a coach.
Oh, one has to be a coach.
Yeah, because this including coaches and players, and that's what I meant to say. It was including coaches and players because she said Phil Jackson.
So, okay, yeah, without a doubt, that's no question for me. It's definitely Phil Jackson.
Thank you.
Definitely Phil Jackson. If you got to add a coach in there,
I was explaining like this, Rizzo. My theory is this: there's no Magic without Kareem. There's no Kobe without Shaq. Neither one of them can win without each other. Okay. Now you're bringing in Phil Jackson, who is the Zen master, who can get you championships proven from the Bulls. Okay. Come to the Lakers and do the exact same thing he did for the Bulls. How could you exclude those 4 players and 1 coach right there? That's my theory. There's no way in the world I can include LeBron in this list. No way, no how. His name shouldn't even been mentioned when it came to the Lakers. That's my opinion. You know what I mean? Because I can still think of other players I would have put ahead of LeBron being on this list.
Is it because he's only still 1 championships?
He's only brung them 1. That's what I'm talking about. He's only brung that 1. He's only brung that 1 championship to the Lakers. Because like Austin said, we could have said Wilt Chamberlain. We could have said Bill Russell. We could have said
not Bill Russell.
Because I'm talking about Jerry West, Elgin Baylor. We could have said all 3 of those players right there, which exclude LeBron off the list automatically. Hell,
Wilt get a championship with the Lakers?
Did he? Was he? I don't think it was the Los Angeles Lakers. Was it? Was it the
I'll have to look it up.
It was the who was there before they was the Lakers? Minneapolis. Was it the Minneapolis Lakers?
No, they were the Lakers at that point when Wilt was playing.
Oh, okay. But you got to understand something. Kareem can't take him off. He was a winner with Milwaukee, and he was a winner with the Lakers. You know what I'm saying? So
and
I can't add LeBron to this list.
For the fact that he's throwing on the Lakers jersey and he's got a championship and he's one of the greatest players within the last decade or
but we're talking about, if you look at this list, they have multiple
just importance to the Lakers.
With the Lakers.
Well, yeah. Yeah, that's why it was like just to the franchise. But I gotta say this, man. I mean, it's hard, really. It's truly not hard to not make a case for how Jerry West was important to it, because we know that he brought a championship, one championship to the Lakers. But let's not forget, Jerry West was a general manager of that 80s Lakers team that won those 5 straight championships. And I think he had something to do with the drafting of Kobe, I think. I'm gonna continue that. But let's not forget how great he was. Jerry West was actually the general manager of the Lakers during those seasons where they won those championships. So he was credited for the 80s Lakers, the dynasty of the Lakers in the 80s for his executive stuff. So let's not forget how good Jerry West was too. So
I believe he won Executive of the Year that year or something, or they last one or something. He won Executive of the
like
Year.
1995 or something like that. That was his last time winning, yeah.
And now he's with the Clippers.
Yeah, so Jerry West, he definitely had a lot to play in with it. So let me see. Yeah, continuing on, if y'all got something else. Oh yeah, he was also one of the guys that signed. Let me not forget this. He also signed Phil Jackson, and he also
didn't he have something to do with bringing Kobe? I mean, Shaq. Yeah. Didn't he have something to do with bringing Shaq?
He
from Orlando.
Signed, that's what I was trying to remember. He got the draft rights for Kobe, and he was the one that brought in Shaq.
Brought in Shaq.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I mean, you can easily make the case for Jerry West, which is because I mean, if you think about it, he played part in all these damn championships for the Lakers.
That's the reason why I say I can't add I cannot add LeBron to this list. I cannot add him to this list. I'm sorry, I just can't.
Yeah.
Now we're talking about Miami. Yes, I can add him to the list, but I can't add him to the list of the Lakers now.
Yeah, I definitely agree. But I feel like, I mean, honestly, I might make a case, but I ain't gonna make a case. But it's too late. I already said what I said. But Jerry West too, man. That's an honorable mention.
That's why I said it should be. If they would have gave me 6, then I'd have been fine with it. But they say you say 5, so I had to give you my 5.
Make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure you hit that button, because if you're not supporting us, who else will? So make sure to rep our side and continue as we rep your side. It's Smooth all signing out with you with
Rizzo.
Also, Big Dog here. We also want you to make sure you follow For the Health of It / Rep Your Side / Dorm Room Combo. Make sure you follow us. Episodes coming out soon. Big Dog out.
Make sure to catch us live on Instagram on Thursdays at 7 p.m. Peace out.